In web design, spacing combined with fonts and colors is integral to creating a consistent and harmonious layout. The spacing settings in the Theme.json file are key to understanding how to set presets and manage the user interface to give your users or clients a great user experience. If you're releasing commercial themes, you might want to leave all settings open, but if you're developing a theme for a client, you'll likely want to streamline the process by setting presets and limiting the actions users can take. First, let's take a look at units. By default, WordPress provides options like pixels, ems, and rems for units. However, you can expand on these options by modifying the Theme.json file. So go to your Theme.json file and under the settings object, add a property for spacing. Now this is an object. Note that the spacing property is specifically for the dimensions panel in the UI and is related to the padding, margin, and block gap settings. Then create a units property to add more units, such as percentage, viewport height represented as VH, or viewport width represented as VW. Then save the file, go back to your editor, and once added, these units will be available in the settings, giving users more flexibility. If you want to remove the option for custom units altogether, you can also do this in the Theme.json file. So go back to your Theme.json file, and after the units, you can add another property, customSpacingSize, and set this to false. Save the Theme.json file, go back to the editor and refresh the page. With custom spacing size set to false, the user can no longer adjust the custom value for padding measurements, thus preventing wild and unexpected creativity. And by setting custom spacing size to false, it also removes the setting for the other settings like margin and block spacing. We can take this further by using presets in a specific and limited way to maintain consistency with spacing. So go back to your Theme.json file. If you've set the custom spacing size to false, there's no need for the unit settings. So we can remove the units property completely from the spacing section. One of the more complex settings is spacingScale. Now spacingScale allows you to define 5 properties: increment, medium stop, operator, steps, and unit. These are used in combination to set the preset spacing sizes. The easiest way to explain what's going on here is with the use of some graphics. So let's break down how the spacing scale works in WordPress when you're setting up spacing scale values in the Theme.json file. And this is particularly useful when you want to maintain consistency across your design by controlling the spacing options available to the user. Steps. This determines the number of steps in the scale. Increment. This specifies the amount by which each value increases or decreases. Medium step. This represents the medium value for which all calculations start. Operator. This defines how the steps are calculated, either by addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. And it's represented by a string value, such as the multiply symbol or the plus symbol. And finally, unit. This indicates the units for the final calculated space value, such as pixels, em, rem, or other valid CSS unit. The calculated values are then assigned to a standard WordPress CSS variable format, WP, preset, spacing, followed by a slug value. And in the case of spacing, this will range from 10 to 100 with 0-based indexing. 0 is typically assumed to represent none as the spacing setting in the UI. Additionally, WP preset spacing 50 is always equal to the medium value, which is set by the medium step. So considering the following space scale settings, the scale should look something like this. Now under the hood, WordPress will assign these values like so. So if we apply these settings to our theme by saving the Theme.json file, then go to your editor and refresh the page and select a block to apply the spacing logic we've just defined. The first thing you'll notice is that it doesn't work. This happens because by default, the theme inherits the default spacing sizes set up by WordPress core. To use our new spacing scale, we need to disable the default spacing sizes. To do this, go back to your Theme.json file. Under the spacing property, add a new property for default spacing sizes and set this to false. Then go back to your editor and refresh the page. Select a block you want to change the padding for. Now you'll notice that under the padding, you only have 3 options: small, medium, and large. And if you inspect the element, you'll see that the small setting corresponds to WP preset spacing 40. This is equal to 3 rem. The medium setting corresponds to WP preset spacing 50, which is equal to 6 rem. The large setting corresponds to WP preset spacing 60, and this is equal to 12 rem. And this is how you control spacing, units, and scale in WordPress with the Theme.json file. Now, if you found this useful and you want to help others find this video, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more quick tips like this.